What's up, action takers, the community of doers? I hope you're doing fine. Episode 44, week 44, 52 weeks. Here we come. Let me first apologize for we missed last week. We did not drop our consecutive episode that we were supposed to drop. I wasn't feeling well, and it was bad because I couldn't really literally talk. I had a bad flu. I couldn't talk. So I really apologized for that. So literally I couldn't be able to record that episode even if I tried to, because my voice was really bad. But I appreciate that now I'm good and we are back at it. Resilience is coming back. How strong do you come back after a setback? How fast and how strong do you come back after a setback? Having said that, I want to be very brief on what I want us to do in our 44th episode. And I'm really excited of how we are closing to the 52 weeks that we started last year, June. And that explains the power of consistency and the ability to keep on doing it regardless of what happens. Without digressing, I want to talk about two things here. Or one thing, and then I look at it from two perspectives. And I believe that we are going to, have this conversation in a way that is going to explain really what I want us to talk about. Gut feeling and instincts. How important is your own instincts to you? How important is your own instincts to you when it comes to decision making? I believe there is a lot of many instances that we use instincts, but majorly or in a larger extent we use instincts when it comes to making decisions, because I know many a times that you've had to make a decision and you're like, what do I really feel about this? And that's where instincts comes in, or the gut feeling that I'm sure at some point you've made these remarks to a person. I feel on a gut level this is what I need to do now, or something of the sort. So for the purposes of this conversation, I want us to look at how important are instincts to your own when it comes to decision making. Yeah, that's it. How important is instincts to you when it comes to decision making? And the other thing that I want to look at it from is what informs your instincts. So do you just develop instincts out of nowhere, or is there a certain way that you can actually develop instincts or improve your own instincts? What informs, what makes you feel a certain type of way to make a certain decision in a certain direction, and what might have provoked you to make a decision in a different way, presented with the same situation but wanting to go in a different directions. Now, first of all, instincts, we are born with our own instincts. Depending on how the environment of your parents, probably what informed them, there are some instincts that are passed hereditary. That's one. But the good thing is that you can be able to develop your instincts through the kind of information that you consume. So without over-explaining, having said that, is one, you need to know what kind of instincts do you possess now. Because if you inherited instincts from your parents, so you need to be intentional to know what kind of instincts did you develop. And by that I mean, when you're making decisions, which side do you lie most? Do you lie with fear, or are you optimistic? That's an instinct. Do you make decisions based on what you really want to achieve, or do you make decisions based on what you really fear that is going to happen? What guides your instincts? And this is an emotional part, I must say that. So it's very critical, because decisions are prone to be made when the emotions are high, for that matter. So what informs your instincts? Be intentional to understand. The other thing is, what can you do to improve your instincts? Because I want to look at it from the perspective of your instincts, being aware of your instincts, and how you can be able to develop them to your own advantage, and then their application. And the application, I think, is just direct, because when you make decisions, you're going to be prone to make decisions in a way that feels right with you. So on the execution part, there is nothing much to say. The most important thing is to take care of being intentional of what instincts you have, and also informing your own instincts through developing your own kind of how you make decisions by the information that you consume and developing your own mind. And the other thing why it is important for us to be intentional to understand our instincts is because you're not supposed to make decision entirely on instincts. It's good to consider facts. So it's good for us to strike a balance there. So look at your instincts and also the facts that are on the table. At the end of the day, you're going to make a decision that feels right with you, but do not ignore the facts because they are so important in guiding the kind of decision you take. Of course, not every time you're going to make decision depending on how you feel. Sometimes the facts can guide you, but at the same time, if you have the right instincts, if you have informed yourself the right way, then this happens at the subconscious level, which I think can be used to your own advantage. So instincts can be developed because, in a nutshell, instincts are patterns that the brain can be able to recognize. Something that has happened to you quite oftenly to a point that your brain has been able to understand the pattern. Because when that thing happens, you respond in a certain way. When that thing happens again, you respond in a certain way. So the brain can learn how you do respond when this happens. And that creates your instinct. Because the next time that thing happens, you don't need to really be cautious or be intentional to make the decision. No, your brain will going to make the decision subconsciously because it has seen how you respond to such kind of situation. So you're just going to make the decision automatically. Instincts are pattern recognition that have been recognized by your brain. The second one is that you can strengthen your instincts. If you're trying to develop your instincts, so if you understand a way of making decision that feels right with you, that you want to reinforce to you, you can be able to do that through repetition and experience for that matter. So if you take a path to develop your instinct, it's pure repetition because we've said it's the brain doing the job of pattern recognition. So you have to do it enough times for it to be pre-programmed in your brain, and hence you can do and make the decision subconsciously in the coming future. Repetition can be used to strengthen that. As easy as that. Influenced by your environment. Since this thing is working on repetition, if your environment is dictating something on you in a way that sets you to make decision in a certain way, that can happen long enough to make your brain to pre-program itself and hence make you make that decision in that way. So be careful of your environment because it influences your instincts. And we are seeing that instincts are very important when it comes to decision making because they are subconscious. You might actually make a decision, but you don't know. Subconsciously, it was influenced by your instincts. You felt right with that. And if you feel right with the wrong thing, guess what? You're going to still make the decision in the wrong way. It's so important. Mind your environment because it informs your instinct, hence influences your decision making. Brain and body development. The fact that you can develop your brain, the fact that you can develop your body, then it means what? That if you develop your brain, then your instincts are going to be informed in a good way that is going to be of advantageous to you. So to wrap it up, the idea here is to be intentional with that feeling that makes you make decision in a certain way. Be intentional about it and know what influences you to make decision in a certain way that feels right with you. Develop it to your own advantage and direct it towards a path that you want to go most, and making sure it is working for you and not against you. I think this is a double-edged sword. If you inform your instinct correctly, then your decisions are going to be made right subconsciously. If you also inform it with the wrong information that do not take you to the path that you want to go, guess what? You get the contrary. So it can either work for you or against you. The decision is yours. Thank you very much for following up to this point. I think I feel satisfied on how I've been able to deliver that. Might not be the best way I could have done it, but I think we've gotten something out of it. I feel I've learned as I am actually speaking, and moving forward, what I'm going to do in terms of what informs my instincts. And as we go about our day, let's be intentional with our instincts, and let's know what influences our action in a certain way. We are back. Thank you very much. We are back now, finishing the 52 weeks, and after that we introduce now, we are going to make a couple of changes here and there. Be sure, because now it's time for growth. We are getting into the growth spiral. I appreciate for the many subscribers. Now, right now we are at 329, I believe, and I'm very excited. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we are going to be having guests in place. So I believe and I know that we are taking an exponential growth in this. Pick up. If you're joining, if you're new here, just get into this journey that we are going. And I really appreciate you, because if you join this community, we are going to work together to make sure what you want to accomplish and what we are accomplishing here as a collective in terms of learning and understanding the power of personal development to us, we are going to make it a success. This is my journey. Get your journey. Let's combine our journey and let's go. See you on the next one. Subscribe and road to 1,000 subscribers.